listening to the world famous White Roof Radio, Woofcast number 665, recorded February 25th, 2020. Good grief. We really should make more shows. Tonight, as always, brought to you by our good friends over at cravenspeed.com, motoringstripes.com, and outmotoring.com. Mini performance, speed, and style. It's outmotoring.com.
With the awkward pause. Yeah, no,
All right. All right. And with that, let's go ahead and get started. Hey, everybody, it's TV in Arizona, bringing you a brand new episode of the world famous White Roof Radio. We are talking about Mini Coopers and other things tonight for you, like we like to do. Joining us, as always, my good friend, Mr. Todd Pearson, motoringstripes.com. Todd, say hi.
I'm here from Kansas City.
And, of course, the good reverence here as well, Mr. Chad Miller from Detroit Tune, DetroitTune.com.
Yeah, just getting off the wedding circuit, yo.
Oh, really?
Not really, but...
Oh, I thought maybe you got married or you married somebody again.
No, the last person I actually married, which was wedding number 7, I was like, you know what? This could be it. This could be the last one.
Can you perform? Can you perform weddings in Nevada, Chad?
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
Actually, Pennsylvania is the weirdest state that they don't want you doing, but everywhere else, they don't care.
Oh, all right. Very cool. Also joining us tonight is a special treat from Ride Bikes Radio is our good friend, our buddy, our pal, Mr. Brian Dallas. Brian,
thank you, everybody. Thank you. Hey, I have changed out my microphone. I now have my snowball. So happy, no noise, no more mall rat for me.
Is it coconut flavored and fuzzy?
It is. It's fuzzy.
If you've ever used a snowball microphone, you would know that they are actually, in fact, coconut flavored.
They are.
You know, like
take a bite right now.
What are those Hostess snowballs? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, they're usually bright pink. Although the last snowball that I have, it's actually in my office. It's my office microphone, and it's bright green instead of bright pink.
Huh?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it works really well.
Ding dong microphone.
I was gonna say I wasn't a snowball guy. I was more of a ding dong and cupcake guy.
Twinkie and
I am all about the Hostess rack, fellows.
Have you seen the effed up flavors of Twinkies they got now?
Oh man, yeah, that can't be anymore. You gotta go back old school, right? Because you had Suzy Q, you had cupcakes, ding dongs. Ding dongs were the bomb. Twinkies, chocolate aisles, which are the chocolate covered Twinkies, and ho-hos.
Ho-hos, yep. Ho-hos were the big deal.
And the donuts. Yeah. All the rest of it go scratch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Yeah, I was all about the Hostess track.
Occasionally a Dolly Madison apple pie.
Ooh.
They need that.
Occasionally, if I'm going Dolly Madison, occasionally it was a zinger.
Oh yeah, zingers were good.
Just bright yellow zinger. Oh, Snoopy on the wrapper. That was the lax food right there, my friends. Ooh. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about zingers.
I know. A zinger to me is like a low rent Hostess, is what it was.
Oh,
it was like
zinger
it's like the off brand. Like you couldn't afford the cupcakes or the ho-hos or the Twinkies. You got a zinger.
And go to Kmart instead of the mall.
Yeah, they were $1. They were $1 instead of like $3. You know. Or no, wait, we're talking 30 years ago. They were like 50 cents instead of a dime, or dime instead of 50 cents.
I'd like to welcome everybody to the Hostess podcast.
I'm not poor shaming anyone here. Believe me, I'm not poor shaming anyone here, but it was what the poor kids ate.
Welcome to Kansas
Now
City.
now they all wander Walmart in the middle of the night.
Life would be so much better if we had zingers.
They still sell zingers. I know they still sell.
That's what she said.
Yeah, they do. They still do. This takes me like
zingers anymore.
Full circle to many, many years ago when we were doing the 24 Hours of Lemons with Gabe, and we were literally in the middle of Pennsylvania, and I had to go to a Walmart, and they actually had horse and buggy parking at the Walmart.
Really?
All the Amish people, man.
Because the Amish were there, yes. And I was the only white dude that actually had a van there. I was like, I'm walking around trying to find some boots because it's raining like hell. And everybody's like, what are you doing here? Yeah.
The only dude without a beard and a hat.
Yeah, exactly. I was unbearded at that point. So
that was all the women.
Zingers,
including the women.
And we need to do a show.
Zingers actually are still around. You can actually order them on Amazon. I linked them up in the Slack channel. I will link up Zingers on the show notes page. Guys, you can check them out. But they're now a Hostess product. No longer Dolly Madison. I do believe Dolly Madison has gone completely out of business.
So they bought them out.
I think Hostess bought Dolly Madison out.
Yeah. Can you still buy ding dongs or no?
Well, yeah, you can still.
Oh yeah, you can. Okay.
And for the real snack food nerds out there, Hostess isn't even really Hostess anymore because they were bought by the company from Philadelphia that makes Tasty Cakes.
So, that's right.
They were bought up by Tasty Cakes.
Tasty Cakes.
Now Wonder Bread,
okay.
Wonder Bread and the Hostess and all those things are now owned by the Tasty Cake people, even though they still have the same name, but they're different. And
we still in my house we still do like Little Debbie like Nutty Buddies or whatever. Like
Nutty Bars.
Yeah.
Gotta do Little
Star
Debbie,
Crunches.
Right? Yeah, Sammy
love those.
That's a big deal for Sammy.
Oatmeal cream pies.
Yeah.
Little Debbie.
Oatmeal cream pies. You just stop right there. I can't have that. I cannot eat those, but I will eat those all day long until I'm sick.
Yeah. I remember at lunch in high school, you could get an oatmeal cream pie for like 15 cents.
Oh man, that's good stuff. All right, guys, we're done. Thanks for joining us tonight. That's the snack show.
This is the snack cast.
We're obviously hungry.
That's why people tune in.
Sometimes we get carried away, as you guys know. This was one of those times. Anyway,
well, it's Fat Tuesday. It's perfect day.
Oh,
yeah. Is it really Fat Tuesday?
Yeah, we had
Mardi Gras.
It's Fat Tuesday. I had my punch keys today. I had my punch keys, and I'm done.
I had 3 punch keys today, thanks to Nick. If he is listening, we had
filled with Chad.
I only do custard.
Yeah, I did the Bavarian cream. That was it for me
Bavarian
today.
Cream, yeah. Well, we live in a very Polish area, and there were just lines out the door. There's a bar down here that do punchki bombs. You get a punchki and a shot of vodka.
Oh my god!
I'm in Detroit, baby,
and you start at 8 a.m.
Mardi Gras in Detroit.
Yeah, that's how we roll.
Polish style.
I wasn't there.
Well, it's because you're a respectable businessman.
Well, somewhat.
You can't be seen drinking at 8 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday.
Well, at least not in public.
Why the hell not?
He's not in public.
Oh, because we're going to find ourselves at Walmart in the middle of the night. That's why.
It doesn't mix well in my coffee.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Doesn't have to be coffee in that coffee.
Anyway. Oh boy. Yeah. So we're going to talk about Mini Coopers.
How long have we been recording? Have we said Mini yet in the last?
Yeah, we have. So we're going to talk about Mini Cooper site. Brian's actually had a chance to see the GP. We're going to talk a little bit about that. We might talk a little bit about the electric Mini as well. I actually have an Ask Chad question that Chad's actually researched, and he's going to get me an answer so I can share it with you guys because you probably have the same question as I do.
Yep.
One of those. And then, we'll talk more about the Zingers.
We're going to talk about what.
Oh, you know what I need to talk about?
What?
I need to talk about why there's a Chevy Equinox in my garage.
Jesus.
Well,
because it's big and it doesn't use oil, and it probably is really got a good resale value.
It doesn't rattle. No, it doesn't matter. We're going to do all that here in just a minute here. But before we do, let's get started. I want to remind you guys, one of the fine sponsors here underneath the white roof, our good friends over at outmotoring.com. We love these guys. You love these guys. Everybody out there has actually bought stuff from Outmotoring. I know you guys all have, but I still talk about them. You know why? Because I don't want you to forget about outmotoring.com. The snow is going to start melting here in about a month, right? Your Mini probably looks like garbage. You're going to go over to outmotoring.com, and Aaron's going to take care of you. He's got all of the car care products that you need to make your Mini look really sharp again. So you're ready for the next Cars and Coffee, for the next Mini run. So you're ready for the Dragon. So you're ready to come join us and hang out at Powell Station in Vegas at the end of March. Outmotoring.com's got you covered. You're doing any DIY projects, you want to put some fresh oil in the crankcase? Aaron's got you covered. Outmotoring.com. Doesn't matter what car you have either. That's the cool part. Aaron will sell you the stuff that you need for your Mini. It's awesome. All that over at outmotoring.com. And he'll even hook it up so you can, he'll even get you going so you can pull a trailer with your Mini. What? Exactly. Very cool stuff. And this is like good stuff. This isn't like going to the U-Haul guy who says, well, yeah, I can put a trailer on that Mini Cooper for you. No. This is custom. This is made for the Mini. This is the stuff you want to make your Mini be able to tow. All this over at outmotoring.com. Plus, rewards. So you get points. Aaron's going to make sure you get the right stuff. you have a club, you have an event coming up, you need some kind of, little support, all you gotta do is shoot him an email. The worst case, he's going to send you a box out of the swag closet. You could maybe even send you a gift certificate, something like that, to really help support your club, which is super awesome. Aaron's always done that. We love him for that. Free shipping on most orders over over $195. 100% happiness guarantee as well. All that over at our friend over at outmotoring.com. Won't you go over there and check it out, please? Don't forget to sign up for the email newsletter. When you place your order, make sure you say thanks for supporting White Roof Radio. We really appreciate that. So does they. So do they. They, of course, being our friends, Outmotoring. Outmotoring.com. Mini performance, speed, and just in general, mini accessories. That's Outmotoring.com. I guess I'll put news music here. Let's start, Brian.
Yeah.
In fact, we should all maybe let's find a picture of the new GP. You saw the GP. I know you didn't get to drive it. Did you get to sit inside of it or anything like that?
No. And from what I've found, what I heard, they at my old dealership, we went there last Saturday. They had a big, kickoff event. They were actually letting people drive the electric to take test drives of the electric. GP was inside, had ropes all around it. They wouldn't let you. You could sit in it, and you could do all the that kind of stuff, but no driving. But what I heard is that they're actually trucking that thing from dealership to dealership. They're not letting it drive on the road.
They can't because it's not been through EPA yet.
Oh, okay. Well, that's on that.
We broke those rules. Because of that, we can tell a little story about us and Mini. Back in 2008, DB and I were at
United States in Boston.
And they had the at the time just released
JCW.
The JCW. Yeah, it was when the F56 JCW was first hitting, and they had the prototype in the US.
No, it was the R. Was it the F or the R?
It was the R56. It was the
R56.
Yeah, it was 08. It was the R.
Yeah, R56 JCW in 2008, and it wasn't even on sale yet. It was the first time people had seen it, and they were trucking it from place to place on a trailer.
It was really cool
for Mini Takes Estates, and so we were at an event where they had a parking lot and cones, and they had a little autocross course set up. And it was on display there. And at the time, our good friend Vinny Kung was head of Mini product development for Mini USA. And Vinny was a good friend of the show and a good friend of ours. And he goes to me, he's like, hey, Mini Takes Estates was wrapping up for the weekend. It was the end of the event, and they're moving things around, and it was time to get this car out of there. And so what happened was they were supposed to truck this JCW from place to place on the back of a flatbed and not put any miles on it because it wasn't approved yet for EPA. They hadn't gone through all that approval, so they couldn't put any miles. It couldn't technically touch the streets and couldn't be driven.
So what happened? He goes, you want to drive this guy, yo?
No, what happened was by accident.
And that's
fell out of good debt.
That's a dead on impersonation of Vinny Kung, by the way.
Right, exactly.
So what somebody did was they didn't realize those were the rules, and they drove it from the hotel to the event site, which was at the University of Boston, and put 13 or 16 miles on the car, which is breaking all the rules. It broke all of the rules or whatever.
The rules, dude.
And so Vinny looks to me and he goes, well, shit, there's 13 or 16 miles on it. It doesn't matter whether it's 13 or 20 or 50 or whatever. Let's go take it for a spin. Let's go take it out on the autocross course. And I'm like, okay. I said, can I record it? And he's like, sure, why not? Well, I'm already going to get in trouble. We might as well just do this right. So I get in the car, first person ever in the world. I'm talking
to drive it on actual road.
Well, that's why he bought one, right?
To drive it in, on the road in an autocross course. So we flogged this thing.
Yeah.
And I recorded it and we put it on White
There was video somewhere too, but we had to take it down.
But let's say it caused an international incident with the international press in Germany and England and everywhere. And they're like, what the hell? We weren't even allowed to, move this car, drive it, ride in it, anything. And these guys over in the US are getting rides and getting to drive it around an autocross course. What the hell? And so, we get a call from Vinny at the time, and he doesn't work for Mini anymore. So I'm safe telling this story. We get a call from him and he's like, I know I can't ask you to do this, but would you mind taking that audio down because it's caused a big incident. I kind of laughed and I looked at the download number. I'm like, dude, it's already been downloaded like thousands of times, but sure, I'll take it down.
Yeah,
super funny.
It's the internet or whatever. So those are the rules. And that's our story of White Roof Radio breaking the rules and causing an international press incident over the JCW in 2008.
So Brian, we've heard from Gabe. Gabe fawns over every new Mini because that's almost like it's his job. What did you actually think of the GP, like the rear valences and all that? What did you actually think of it? Is it cool?
I mean, I'm a bit of a cynic when it comes to this stuff. I kind of drink from the Todd Pearson cup a little bit.
Oh, gotcha.
And I'm moderately impressed. I think that previous GP generations are obviously a lot better. I think that Mini tried to do a little more sensationalization on this car, but the Cooper side scuttles, that definitely did it for me. Like I couldn't handle the Cooper scuttles for the turn signals. I thought but anyway, no, I'm just joking. I thought that it's a good enthusiast car.
Don't joke. Cooper side scuttles on a JCW car are ridiculous.
Oh, I know. I absolutely think
that was the thing inside, and we all thought that was ridiculous.
It's going to have, it's got that particular one had Kumos on it, so it's going to be those track slicks that all the other GPs have had.
Yeah.
That you're going to end up taking off. But I'm sure it's going to ride like a freaking go-kart like the other previous GPs have. But I mean, I'm curious to see.
The track is wider on this car also.
Yeah, it is. And that's probably the reason for those extra fender flares, just to keep the air tight to the car.
Right.
Horsepower wise,
why they use the Cooper scuttles to save weight.
Oh, of course.
That's like 3 grams easy.
Yeah. Since I've kind of not been paying attention totally to the little nuance changes that they've been making, but the redesigned mirror, that's a little more edgy instead of rounded like the previous mirrors are too. And then the two side, the side mirrors, and then the fish mouth up front is got a lot more GP-ness to it than the others.
He said penis. He said penis.
I did.
He did. I actually think it looks better though with the red accents. They've actually kind of corrected the front end of the F56 front end with the GP, I think.
Yeah, I agree with that. We were able to grab the key and be able to not fire up the car, but fire up the electronics so we could actually see the new display light up. And
nice.
What do you think of that as a tech guy of the display above the steering wheel?
I think that from an enthusiast side, it's probably really good, but from a general, guy who's going to buy this car, this is going to be his second car. It's not going to be a primary car, and they're going to be a little bit confused by it, I think.
Do you think is it distracting? Is there too much information there?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's, those displays right now, the F cars are kind of, they were already a little bit confusing when we went from the second gen to the third gen cars.
And in my F56, I got to tell you, I don't even look at that display for information. Well, I've got head-up display also in my car. Yeah. So most of the information I get is from there. And then when I have to, it's, always the information I want is not there. And I have to scroll through and you have to click 5 times to get to what you want on the onboard. I
don't drive my wife's F55 that much. And she leaves it pretty much set at just digital speed, on hers. Right. She doesn't have heads-up display. But out of all the minis that she's had, this is her favorite by far. Like, she loves that car to death. And it's because it's a sleeper with the JCW tuning kit and exhaust in it. That car screams,
Do you guys have nav in that car?
No.
Okay,
no,
so I wondered if you had CarPlay, because I have all kinds of... I keep wanting to talk to somebody about CarPlay because I've got issues.
Well, if I remember correctly, before I left Mini, it was, that was in the Countryman, so that, when we went to the larger touchscreen, those, what was it, 9-inch display or whatever that ended up being.
Yeah.
Creates that ad hoc Wi-Fi network inside of the car, for CarPlay itself, so you didn't have to use, because Bluetooth won't, transmit that kind of data.
Right.
And in the F cars, this one just particularly didn't have it. It had the 6.5-inch, so without the touchscreen, so no nav, no CarPlay, which would be nice.
Which, by the way, all the screens are going to go to touchscreen now.
Yeah.
in 2021, the small ones and the large ones. And with the electric coming out, which you got to see also, it's got the same display as the GP, this digital display, and a touchscreen navigation display.
Yeah.
With CarPlay, according to the specs, the Mini Electric is the first, the small screen with the touch screen and CarPlay. So in theory, it is possible. And why Mini has chosen not to put this across the line is kind of baffling to me.
So it's interesting you brought that up, Todd, because before I left Northwest, there was 2 Countrymen that came in at the time that had 6.5-inch touchscreens on them. And it was total flukes, like it was an accidental thing.
I've got one in my driveway right now. My in-law Countryman is a 19 with a small screen, but it's a touchscreen.
Yeah,
and it's got the new software in it. It's got a different software than the other Countrymans did at the time, which was weird. It seemed like a fluke to me, but it has the 6-inch screen with touchscreen.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, right?
Weird.
And no nav. It doesn't have
nav and no CarPlay.
Correct.
Yeah.
So weird.
Yeah.
Yep. But they're all gonna. The point is that exists, and I think it existed in Europe. I think it was pretty common that's what you could even get CarPlay on the small screen in Europe. And for some reason, the U.S. spec didn't choose to go that way.
I don't understand what the whole issue with BMW and CarPlay and trying to charge people for that crap, and then
they stopped charging people.
No, I know, and then they backpedal out of it, and they were the only manufacturer that was trying to charge people for CarPlay. It just made no sense to me whatsoever.
I think they were trying to recoup the fact that you should pay for this because we're the only company that offers it wirelessly.
Yeah,
which still to me, who cares? Because it doesn't even work that well. There's issues with I've got a Mini, and this has been reported with BMWs about the audio dropping when you're listening to CarPlay, and the audio drops. And for me, it's been happening for the last couple of months, where I'll listen to CarPlay all the time, and in the middle of like every song, it drops out, and then comes right back. I mean, but it's so like weird. It's like it just completely drops and then comes right back.
If it's any consolation, Todd, I have a very similar problem on my R56, and I'm starting to think this is like an iPhone issue. So
I think it is,
because if I connect only via Bluetooth, and I'll be listening, but then like all of a sudden, like the audio won't drop or skip or anything, but the whole stereo like resets.
Yeah,
like the stereo crashed and came back, and it's like, what? That's weird. The screen's changed. It's like, oh, that's really strange. But my audio keeps playing.
Well, I got to say, I have my CarPlay I used it for the better part of a year before I went to iOS 13 came out late last year, and when that happened, that's when all the problems came in.
Right.
Yeah. But they also made, when they did do, when 13 did come out, it was a complete redesign for CarPlay, and it made it a little bit easier.
Yeah, it made
it for a standpoint, right?
Yeah, I think there's a little more that we might not know that's going on here, because with the GTI that we have in the household now, it has CarPlay, and we use Android Auto. Yep. That also has a dropout function that is happening within the car.
And, so when you're listening to music, it cuts out for half a second.
It cuts out the cord isn't connected, doing the exact same thing. So like it could be a software level type thing, because we're seeing now between 2 different systems that are going on,
nothing to do with each other.
Right.
Well, that's funny you say that, Chad, because I have another car here in my driveway, in my garage, that does Android Auto and CarPlay both, and I haven't had a lick of problems with either iPhone plugged in or with the Android phone plugged in on Android Auto. It works flawlessly in the Chevy.
I think it's better in the cars with the plug-in. It's the wireless connection is the problem.
Chad, is wireless also?
Well, I've been using it in my iPod as wireless, and I have no problems. She's been having problems with her Android plugged in, and she's used different cables, different OEM cables, all of these things that you're supposed to do. But like, well, you're using an aftermarket cable, it's not working. So she's still having problems with it, and I still feel it might be an update thing. I still feel it's this, it's that, But yes, she still is having problems with the system in general. And I don't necessarily think that all of our tech stuff that should be coming up is not necessarily working the way that we want it to.
It's still not where it's supposed to be.
Still isn't.
Freaking Netflix sometimes buffers too, and
Exactly.
I got gigabit internet. It's not just CarPlay.
Oh, my smart TV yesterday wouldn't bring up Amazon Amazon Prime. It wouldn't bring up the video thing. I had to reset everything. Boom, everything works again. I was like,
I know it's annoying. Tech in general is not where it should be.
It's stuff like that makes my parents frustrated.
Yeah,
but it makes you wary of electric cars too, doesn't it? Because that's a car.
I don't like it either.
Frightened of it. Yeah,
just the whole car could just take a dump. It's like, oh, I need to do a battery pull. Well, how the heck am I going to do that?
Yeah, I know. It's a good argument for a hybrid. The other car in our house, we have a 17 Subaru, and almost every Subaru, I think, comes with CarPlay in one fashion or another, whether, smaller screen or larger screen. I don't think it really matters. Even the cheap ones come with it. But I get like headset resets all the time, and it uses some Starlink, whatever back-end system that Subaru uses. And mine will restart like in the middle of a drive, but I think it's phone related. I'm kind of with Todd, is that I think it's phone related.
I think Apple has, for the last couple of years, Apple has really dropped the ball on software, vetting before they get something out.
I honestly think it maybe that's part of it, but I also think it's partly from the head unit manufacturers are not keeping up with the phone the phone software to a certain extent. They're just not keeping up.
Yeah, they're designing it on iOS 12.1, and then everybody out there is on 13.1 by now, which is completely now different.
Exactly. Yeah. So
I don't know. You guys are having all these trouble. I'm not kidding, and I'm going to continue to say this ever since I've ever used it, and ever since I've been using it. Is the Chevy implementation of CarPlay is freaking brilliant.
Well, DB, what phone are you?
Brilliant.
What phone
I'm
are you
using an iPhone 8 Plus.
So you're on an 8 Plus. I'm on a 10s.
Getting ready to switch to an 11, but still, I'm on an 8 Plus.
Yeah, I'm on
so cabled in, no problem.
Yeah, I'm on XS Max, and I'm running, I don't know, 13 point something.
Yeah,
I will say the domestics, quote unquote, have less problems than some of the other cars in car lines. I don't know if it's we're better than somebody else, or there's a compatibility issue or whatever. But yes,
well, I'll tell you this: that even that, Chad, like the cars that I've rented lately.
Yeah, I was just going to ask.
I'll go and I'll rent like a Kia Soul, and then plug my phone in. Get off the plane and you plug the iPhone into the charger, and immediately CarPlay opens up and just starts working, and it works flawlessly. They just no bells, no whistles, just freaking make it work. Yep. Instead of trying to tell me, oh, you're buying a premium, you're buying a BMW, you're buying a Mini.
Yeah,
we need to add all this extra crap to it, and it's really bogging it down.
It should just work.
You're right, Chad. They need to take a lesson from the basic cars and going, you know what? First, make it work.
Right.
Then you can add some features to it.
You're totally right, Todd. Because I do a fair bit of rentals too with my travels, and Hyundais, Kias.
They both
just work. Like it's just plug it in, and all of a sudden it's all working.
And DB's experience, the Chevrolet just works.
Just works.
Yeah. It really does. Right? It's actually not a bad implementation. I think it's pretty freaking awesome. I mean, I can't read Slack or look at Instagram pictures on the screen like Gabe wants, but hey, it tells me if I need to make a phone call or gets me where I need to go.
I don't even know why Gabe wants to have Slack on freaking CarPlay. Just makes no sense to me whatsoever.
Well, he wants it on his watch too, so at that point, notwithstanding.
No.
I think one of the most annoying things to me about the CarPlay over the way Mini used to do it is if you get a text message.
Yeah.
If I get a text message while I was driving in the old system without CarPlay, it would, a text would come up, and then you could just press a button and it would read it to you out loud.
Right.
Now, it's kind of the same thing, but you could also see the text on the screen. If you're stopped at a stoplight, you could actually read it at the same time.
Oh, no, my car doesn't do that at all. Only will read it back.
Right. CarPlay doesn't. CarPlay is done away with. It's just audio only, and then it asks you, would you like to respond? And you just have to say no or yes or whatever.
Yeah. Crazy balls. Anyway, that was very interesting.
That was a CarPlay rabbit hole.
Yeah, nice. No, that's all right because
that's good.
The GP is the GP. I mean, it's coming out soon. We're gonna see it. It's a $50,000 car. It's supposed to be all that in a bag of chips. 500,000 horsepower, something ridiculous. It'll be awesome. Can't wait to see it in person.
My old dealer already has 10 pre-orders for that thing, and 10 pre-orders for the electric.
Well, so the electric, that's the car that I'm like most interested about because I'm not going to want to put one in my garage because when I need to do a battery pull, how do you manage that when you're out in the middle of nowhere?
Yeah.
Right. And it only has a range of 10 miles or something? No.
Do you have to code the car?
It's 100.
No, somebody took me in a task on Twitter because we were completely wrong on the electric information, and that's totally fine, but not for nothing. Earlier today, I was riding my bike and a BMW. What's the ugly little electric BMW?
i3?
Yes, the i3. One of them drove by me and it sounded like a Jetsons car.
It was
like a lawnmower motor in it.
It had the assist motor, which is actually
it's a 2-cycle engine, like a
cycle. Yeah, it's just
literally
it's the extender, range extender. That's what it is.
Yeah, the range. Yep.
It sounded like a Jetsons car, and I really didn't. I looked at the person briefly, and they didn't strike me as a person who actually knew how to mix their fuel and oil together when they put fuel in that little motor.
Yeah,
it's because it literally is a lawnmower engine.
It is a lawnmower engine. Yeah, you know what they finally did is that they finally fixed the tire size on that car, and now it's a little more readily available. So before they had BMW had some sort of spec'd out 19 tire that was like, about 4 inches deep.
It was about a bicycle. It was like it
was like the worst tire. You had to order them from BMW, and it took like 3 weeks to get them at the time. And now they actually have a normal spec tire, so you can just go and buy them anywhere.
Well, hopefully they've learned a lot from the i3 that and granted the electric Mini is based on a car that's existed now for 5 years.
Right.
So, it's kind of a retrofit of the F56 model, which I don't see a problem with. All the nerds out there are like, why isn't it new? Why didn't they develop something new? This seems like they put a bunch of crap parts.
That I did see that, like a lot of those comments.
I don't think that at all necessarily, because for me, at $23,000, even $30,000 for what it is, it seems like it's a good deal, and I'm interested in it. I mean, I'm going to consider it and take a look, but I'm not going to buy one. I'm not going to get one unless they offer me a decent lease, because I don't want to be married to the technology that's going to be outdated in 18 months. And we know it will be. It's the way things have been moving now.
That's the way technology works.
Hey, they've got this electric Mini that's a 2021. When the 2023 comes out, all of a sudden they're getting 300 miles on it or something like that, right?
This looks like a good place to stop. Let's remind you guys about one of the other fine sponsors. Another one of the fine OG sponsors. Got to throw that bit in there. And that's our boys over at Craven's Beat. Up at Craven's Beat, up in Brian's neck of the woods in the Pacific Northwest. You guys love them too. And I want you to spend more money with them because, and I keep complaining about this, and I'm going to keep complaining about this until you people stop doing it, is I'm seeing you guys driving down the road, not you particularly, but other people driving down the road holding their phone in their hand, talking on their phone. Don't do that. You look like an old person when you do that. You look like you're technically inept when you do that. Stop. Go over to cravenspeed.com, and I want you to punch up the page for the Gemini phone mounts. Or if you're really old, the Gemini phone mounts. Okay, really quick. Who's got a grandparent that used to say Gemini? Come on. Come on.
Gemini? No,
Gemini instead of Gemini. Gemini. Anyway, it's an old space term from the olden times. Old NASA term. They would say Gemini sometimes. Anyway, it was always funny. Go over there. I want you to punch up a Gemini phone mount, and I want you to pick one for the car that they make one for almost every car now. I want you to pick one. I want you to order it. And I want you to put it in your car, put it in your wife's car, put it in your kids' car. Do it. And then you stop looking like you're technically inept because you actually have this really dope rack in your car so that you're legal and you can keep an eye on your phone. Right? Done. Gemini phone mount at Craven Speed. You know what? For those of you out there who are still rocking the R50, the R53, because those cars are still popping up here and there, like smoking deals with 70,000 miles on them, and like some little woman drove it, and it's like still bone stock, but you want to go ahead and hoon it out a little bit. Go over to Craven Speed, get yourself a pulley. Trust me on that one. Then take it over to Detroit 2 and have Chad put it in. Trust me on that one. You will love that. They have a bunch of other stuff for your Mini too. They have a bunch of stuff for all the cars, but most of you Mini guys, the short shift kit's one of our favorites. Oh, so nice, especially in the R56. All of the parts that they have for Minis are amazing. They're made of unobtainium and amazing and awesome, and they're 3D printed and use all kinds of really cool tech to make this stuff. You guys are going to love it. Really good service, really good warranty. Something goes wrong, they fix it. So awesome. You know what's nice about Craven Speed too? Is if you go over there and you want to buy something, you can. That's rad. Use on the site. There's a little form there you can actually put in feedback and say thanks for supporting White Roof Radio. But you know what else you can do? You're over at Chad Shop Detroit Tune. You're seeing Jerry here in Arizona at Eurotex. You're anywhere in California when you're Mini guys in California. You're ever seeing Way, or you're up at Marzo's shop. You just go, hey, I need Craven Speed stuff. That's the same thing as going to Craven Speed. And as a bonus, those guys are going to say, sweet, somebody who knows what they're talking about, we're going to get it ordered and put on your car for you, professionally installed. Like with the short shift kit, which is so nice. Oh my God. I'm still disappointed that my Roadster is an automatic, so I can't have a short shift kit in it. Because I would put the short shift kit
in there. It just wouldn't really do anything.
It wouldn't work. Yeah, it wouldn't do anything.
It wouldn't do anything because it's a stupid automatic.
Gear shift in half. That's what you can do.
Yeah, you don't need that.
That's all I need to do.
You don't need that.
Don't need that top of that thing. I don't need any of that stuff. Anyway, that's Craven Speed. CravenSpeed.com. Go over there, check them out, please. Thank you. Craven Speed.
I ordered one of their stubby antennas. I got it engraved for the wife for Christmas. Yeah.
Oh, nice. That's very cool. That's very sweet, Brian.
I have a question about the electric cars because it's been a while. I drove the i3 a couple of times and I don't even remember now.
Yeah.
But there's only one gear in the car. I mean, there's still park and in gear, right?
Drive.
Can't it just be like buttons on the dash? Can't you just like push a button on the dash and go, hey, drive?
It could be.
But it could be.
Yeah.
There's really no transmission there. I mean, it's one gear on or off.
Yeah, really, the button, all you're doing by putting it into gear, I put into gear in quotes, is activating forward motion.
Yeah.
So, and there's no transmission.
Well,
so
I think a lot of
literally a button.
A lot of new cars are doing it. Like you look at new Land Rovers, they've got that little,
Teslas don't have a.
No, they have that thing that comes up.
They have a dial,
like a giant dial, and you just and they're not the only ones that do that. A couple other car companies, I think, have very similar.
Well, they're starting to move that way, but yeah, like our old Evoque had a dial in the middle, and the Jaguars are all do that because they're all Land Rovers too, right? So,
right. It's the JLR technology is that
exactly.
That you twist, and then it like recesses back down into the like it goes down into the thing.
Right.
Flush.
Yeah, when the car's off, exactly. Yeah,
but
to put it in sport, you got to lift it, and then twist it. I think, and then it drops it into a sport mode.
Yeah, and so my attitude is now with cars, even with cars with transmissions, why can't they just have buttons there that instead of you're not actually moving a gear lever anymore, you just press a button for whatever you want. Like here, I want reverse.
No, and then free up all that space in the passenger compartment. Get rid of the center.
They're already doing that with the parking brake, right?
They've done that with
push button for the parking brakes. So.
And it's the most annoying, crappy thing ever. I don't like electric cars. Yeah, I don't like because the Countryman that we've got now, we've had for a while. Driving it is annoying, and I finally figured it out because there's this little knob.
It's annoying because you can't do J turns.
Right, but it's a little.
It's going to be really fast with a button.
It's a button that you push and you pull, and it has a P on it, and there's no directions whatsoever. I can't ever figure out whether to push it down or pull it up or whatever.
The BMW was the same way.
However, I'm going to teach you guys a mnemonic for this on the Mini next time. Anybody, listeners or whatever, I finally figured it out. We're used to the e-brake where you grab it and you pull it up and it puts the e-brake on, right? Well, the electric parking brake is the same way. You pull it up, it's just like you would an e-brake. You pull on it and it sets the parking brake. And then you push down on it and it releases the parking brake, just like you would push down on the handbrake.
Except that's counterintuitive.
It is until you think
for a button, because a button is activated by a push.
But when you
it's like having a pull handle.
But when I figured it out, I'm like, I understand the mnemonic. They decided to do it that way because of that. Like I'm used to pulling the handbrake on the parking brake and pushing it down to turn it off. So once you figure that out, it makes sense. But I got to say, I drove it for weeks before I even figured.
But effectively though, they've thrown away the value of the button.
Two things to say. A, didn't you read the owner's manual? Duh.
That's not my car. No.
Somebody reads that, Chad. It's like reading stereo
I
instructions.
shouldn't even be doing the show. I know. Yeah.
I say the exact same thing to my girlfriend. I was like, well, didn't you read the owner's instructions? Like, well, I don't know how that works. It's
how much IKEA have you put together lately, Chad?
I read the instructions. It's together. And then the other thing is, like, Todd, you really pulled up on the P and you pushed down on the P, really? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah.
Thanks, Todd. Thanks. All right.
Yep. Well, I can't say it any other way because there's nothing label on it other than the big letter P.
Right. Exactly.
There's really nothing other.
That's funny though.
My attitude also is, shouldn't it engage itself when you turn the car off? It's like when you turn it off, it just automatically starts brake.
Or when you press on the brake, it should automatic. It should be automatic. Yes,
you put it in gear. When you put it into drive.
No, because
I'm going to stop you right there. You know what is worse? No, I'm going to stop you. I'm going to stop everybody right there because if we're going to talk about what cars should do automatically, I'm going to stop you all right there because this one I can't believe still happens. Is if I roll down the back windows of my Chevy Equinox or Todd of that Countryman, what happens? The whole helicopter thing, right? The pressure changes rapidly in the cabin of the car, right? This is the 21st century. How come nobody's figured out the wind tunnel settings to make that not happen?
You just got to vent the sunroof.
How come nobody's ever changed physics?
Well, how come nobody's come up with a way that doesn't actually happen? Like, there's got to be something that they could do to the outside of the car, some small little tweak that would make it not do
a window vent wing, something like that. Yeah, exactly. The new GTI, like you put the back windows down, it literally sounds like like
the Equinox.
I'm like, we gotta put that up thing. And again, nobody should ever have a sunroof. Just putting that out there. But like, yeah, it's horrible. Like, all of it is horrible.
Both F56s I've had, and this one now, when the weather's nice and I drive around with the window down, I put the driver's side window down. You cannot drive with just one window down because you get a terrible effect like that. You have to you just barely crack the passenger window, which, by the way, if anybody does it solves the problem. It completely solves the problem.
Well, I know how to solve the problem of rolling down the back windows in the car. My point is, why is it still doing that? It's the 21st century. How come we haven't come up with a solution for this?
There is a solution. Crack the other window.
Right. But why does it still do it? Why do I have to crack the window? How come there's not like a little, like an airplane piece or something? I know it's physics. It should automatically crack itself, though.
You did not be able to roll just one window down, is what you're saying.
There needs to be, the cars need to know that this is a problem. The automakers need to know that this is a problem. And they don't just, I don't want to look at the Chevy guys, the Chevy design guys, and they just give me like the shrug emoji. That's not what I want. I want an actual fix. And they say, well, crack the window. And then they give me the shrug emoji. And it's like, no.
I agree with you, DB. How many years did we live with luggage that only had two wheels on it before somebody decided, hey, let's put four wheels on this thing? And everybody's like, son of a bitch, this is the greatest thing ever. And then now you can't imagine having a piece of luggage without four wheels on it, right? Like, literally, right? that invention is in our lifetime. We grew up, I grew up, you grew up, all four of us here grew up with luggage.
You're talking about like it's.
Well, I'm not.
Polio
I'm not.
It is a polio vaccine. Oh my gosh!
In my day, get off my lawn.
We're all dying of corona.
This is the curmudgeon podcast now.
I know the young people on the show are like, these old guys, come on.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Well, it's funny that you said that, but the kids have never had. I mean, there's kids out there now that they don't know not having internet. They don't know not having color TV. They don't know not having cable.
Back in my day, we had a parking brake. It would button. You put it on, you put it off. It's fine.
Oh my god.
Zingers. I mean, come on.
This is where the show goes way off the end. To bring this all full.
I I had an Ask Chad question, but
Yeah, it's gone.
Well,
It's
I can still answer it.
It's done.
But to pull this full circle, like I was reminiscing about this yesterday, and I was talking about my grandmother who has passed and has gone, but she remembers the invention of the phone, and she remembers the invention of the TV, and she remembers all of these things, and she saw me with an actual cell phone. I was like, wow, that thing does this. Like, those people experience so much. We are still like really behind the times as a people now, because it's like, oh, okay, your cell phone went from like 4 to 12, okay, whatever, man. But like those inventions are like huge leaps and bounds from what they used to be,
including the polio.
Right, and right, it brings you all back to the vaccines. Like, we're still not, we're all dying of the coronavirus.
Yeah,
now.
we're one coronavirus away from having ding dongs the rest of our lives.
Exactly. So like, don't get on a plane anytime soon. So like, the modern invention of flying from place to place.
Can I say one thing though? We've seen the birth and the death of something in our life. Every one of us in our lifetime. CDs. We saw the birth of CDs. We saw the death of CDs.
I was going to say black and white.
We saw the birth and death of 8-tracks. We saw the birth and death of cassettes. Too.
You know what else? We have seen in our life the death and rebirth of vinyl.
They were around before us, though. Like LPs.
No, I said death. And rebirth.
Yeah.
Right. But they're back at Target. Target is selling LPs. That's not even close to being car related. Let's just try to do an Ask Chad question, and then we're going to be
all right.
Dear Ask Chad, hi, I'm DB. I host a world famous White Roof Radio podcast about Mini Coopers. I don't know if you've listened, but I have a question.
Okay.
No. So anyway, Chad, I took my car in for service. Okay. And everybody does this. And this is something I railed about on DB Mini. I put up a post on DB Mini. We talked about a couple of shows ago where my brake light came on and it didn't need to, right? It was like, it's on a timer. And I was just livid about that. And I posted about it over at dbmini.us. Anyway, take my car and it's inspected. I'm going, there's no way my car needs brakes, but I need other stuff done anyway. I let Jerry take a look at it. He says, no, you don't need brakes. We'll reset the light. So we reset the light. But like a day and a half later, it came back on. And I've tried to reset it, and either I'm doing it wrong or there's something else that's broken that Chad and I have actually talked about offline. But let's just say that nothing else is broken, Chad, and I need to reset that light. Is that possible for me as an end user to do?
Yes, it is. And you don't need any special tools to do this.
No, I don't?
You don't. If you go to DetroitTune.com, there is a section in the instruction section that says brake light reset, PDF, how to, type thing. It's for Gen 1 and Gen 2, and it will show you how to do that. It's complicated, but yet easy at the exact same time. We go back to hey, how do I know how to do these things? I'm old curmudgeon, blah, blah, blah. It's a lot of pressing buttons and holding and watching and, and it's like kind of like the whole Nintendo, AB, left, right, star, square.
It's almost exactly.
Have you ever reset the PRAM on a Mac?
It's like that.
Todd, what is it with you and pee tonight? I don't get it, man. Jeez.
I was going to come back with.
I really have to pee right now. That's
what's the Mac?
What's the Mac?
Anyway,
that was the Mac nerds. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so it is a little bit of you have to figure out how to go with a setting. But there is a certain amount of settings all within your stalks, the button on the end of the turn signal stalk, looking at your tack and trying to figure out, how to get to that point. And it's a matter of pressing and holding and pressing and holding. And hey, do you want to reset? Yes, I do.
I actually found the document. It's like 12 steps, very well printed out and well written. I'm going to link.
Yeah, and it's kind of a little more technical within the read up, but it is very doable. And as long as you don't actually have something broken. So if you have a red brake light come up on your dash, that usually says A, you're either at mileage, or B, you have a actual sensor that has broken and you need to replace the sensor. Sensors are $20, not a big deal. Like you can make those things happen. You do your own brakes, that's fine.
Sensors
you put the brakes in, you put the sensor in, and then all you have to do is reset it. This is how you do this. You press the amount of right buttons, and it will reset itself, and you're good to go. So
there you go. That's it. I'll link this up, Chad. Thank you very much, sir.
And on a high note for that,
and I'm sure I'm like the last man to the party on this, having to reset these lights, but I've never actually had to do it before. So
never have it happen. Why would you ever look to?
You wouldn't really know these things, but again, all of this is in your owner's manual. Not how to reset it, but what that light is actually for.
Chad, have you met us?
Yeah.
Well, I have met all of you, sober and drunk, and I am just letting the listeners know that if you really don't understand what is coming up in your dash, because every Facebook forum somewhere has, what does this mean? I have a check engine light.
Every Facebook forum has the wrong information.
Yeah.
They might have the right information, but
do you know what's going on? Yeah. Yeah, and the check engine light is always going to say, it's like, well, it's emissions, it's not doing what it should, and you should change this. Yes, this is true, but there's a million codes, there's a million things you really need to really go to that professional level of seeing what's going on with your car to kind of really go on, because the internet will never tell you, and it will never be right the 12th time you actually ask it. And so get the code reader, figure out what's going on, make the right decisions, not just, hey, is this right? So
XOXO DB. Oh, sorry, 2 weeks ago. Okay, and I think we're going to go ahead and be done. But Chad did make mention, and I wanted to just kind of throw this out there really quick, because Chad said, because he's met us all, and it'd be really cool. I'd like to meet more of you. Who's going to go to Vegas and meet the White Roof Radio guys? We are all, because the Black Roof Radio people already know this, but we are all going to go to Las Vegas. We're going to be there March 27th, 28th, and 29th at the fabulous Palace Station Resort Hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada. We would like you guys to go. Either, by hook, by crook, come in a Mini, come in a Fiat. We don't care. Come in a Mini, park up on the deck.
Stinger.
Right? That's
I'm going to fly a
come in a Zinger.
747.
Chad's going to fly a 747. I don't know why to Vegas. That's weird, but okay. Sure. Okay. But anyway, we're going to be in Vegas. We're calling it the Amviv Remembrance Tour 2020. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Again, that's going to be the White Roof Radio boys, me, Todd, Brian's going to be there. Chad's going to be there. Gabe's not going to be there as far as I know, but Gabe's weird and he could just show up for whatever reason. We're all going to be there. It's going to be awesome. March 27th through the 29th. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah. And we'll post it. And if you are planning on going,
there's an event on the Facebook page. We got Facebook. And I think 20 of you guys already said
some place to let people know exactly where we'll be a couple of the times there, because there's a couple of places in Palace Station. There's a couple of quiet places if they're open. I mean, there's a pizza joint, like Tony's Pizza Joint, I think, in there, which has got a bar, which is nice. It's a nice place to gather with a handful of people, because our favorite Jack's Pub isn't there anymore.
It isn't there anymore. The whole area is now high-end slot machines or something, right? Something like that. Anyway, we'll figure that out. Best probably would be to follow us on Twitter as well. Follow me or follow White Roof Radio on Twitter, in case I don't get it posted over at the Facebook page. But I'm going to try to do that. We'll get that all scoped out.
And if
and remember, we're not doing any drives or anything, so we will plan some sort of we're actually going to all be at this one location at this time on this night.
Yeah, and if you have a problem finding us or whatever, go on Twitter. Load Twitter, whatever, send a direct message to either DB or myself, and we'll tell you where we are. Because if you send a direct message, we'll get that pretty instantly. We'll get a text when that happens on Twitter. That might be the great. If you don't have one of our cell phone numbers, and if you do, you find a text us.
Nobody has my cell phone number. I have a new phone number, so you're not going to be able to text me.
Direct message on Twitter is the best way to reach us if you're trying to find us in Vegas.
Yeah, this is not organized even a little bit. This is literally Todd and I and Chad and Brian wanting to hang out in Vegas. I haven't seen these guys in like 100 years, and we want you guys to come along. Todd and I'd be happy just sitting at a table with Todd drinking gin and tonics till we fell out of our chairs.
Yeah, hopefully we'll find a bar with.
So if you guys come, it'd be a lot of fun. But if you don't, then you're going to miss out on Todd and I drinking gin and tonics till
we'll find a bar where they serve gin and tonic and have video poker at the bar. So.
Yes.
Yeah. So Todd can
take
needs
thousands of dollars away from
if
that.
I'm in Vegas more than about 10 minutes and I'm not gambling, I start to twitch.
Recognizing the problem is always the
it's
first
not a problem.
step,
it's just a scientific fact.
Sure. Okay.
You've seen them. You've seen the winning hands. I send them to you guys all the time, and you curse me, every one of you.
And it's the really bad part. And then and this is completely not even anything related. And I might even cut this, but I can go to Vegas with Todd. I can be breathing the same air in the same casino, playing the machine right next to the one that he's playing. I will give that machine that I'll play hand for hand. I'll play the way he would play. I double check, and I know how Todd plays. And he kind of taught me. And I go, okay, I'm going to play like Todd. And Todd will sit there and he will pull $1,200 out of the machine he's playing, and I will give my machine $40.
With the money DB puts into the machine, I take out of the other machine next to it. So that's the way it works.
Oh.
It's a thing we've got,
Yeah. Anyway, let's be done. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us. So once again, we do appreciate it. For those of you who are still listening, thank you very much. We appreciate you guys sticking around and downloading the show. It's awesome that you guys do that. One of our favorite things. But this is a time where we like to be finished. I didn't tell you guys about motoring badges. Go over to motoring badges. Good grief. Motoringbadges.com. I forgot this, and that's on me. Motoringbadges.com, because I didn't have the tab. You guys are going to be looking silly come MTTS, and you don't have your gear. You don't have the probably going to be the official supplier of MTTS graphics anyway. So just go over and get them. They're done. Don't wait. Don't be that guy who's at MTTS walking down the line of cars and noticing everybody's got the cool magnets on the doors or the grill badges, all the cool stuff, the rally stickers with their little Instagram handle on it, right? All the really cool stuff that Todd's making for MTTS. Don't be that guy and go, oh my God, I didn't get this. I better order it. No, Todd's going to be at MTTS. He's not going to be able to fill your order. What?
Shipping times, I'm like Amazon Prime now. You place an order and it goes out the same day or the next business day. That's it. You're getting it fast. I'm filling these things, man.
Yeah, so cool. Get it done. Go over to motoringbadges.com. All the MTTS stuff is right on the top, right? You get the door magnets, you get the grill badge. And you know what? I'm going to tell you guys the secret hack. You're going on Mini Takes the Stage. You've got that stupid sunroof on your car, and it's making you insane. Use a contact form. Tell Todd what your Mini you have, and say, please, can I have a White Roof Radio sunroof delete kit? I will send $100 to you post haste. He will send you the vinyl to black out or white out, or whatever color your roof is out your sunroof. And it's so awesome. Make sure air conditioning work again. It's my favorite thing. I was going to have him do it for me, but
you don't have.
Well, that's a lot of vinyl.
It is a lot of vinyl.
Be awkward on the road.
I could white out that rear window and make it really hard to see out of that thing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's just I'm like probably just a matter of months till it falls out again. Anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Well, anyway, it's motoring badges, motoringbadges.com, because blank is boring. Now we're done. Thank you very much, everybody. We do appreciate it. This is the part of the show where I like to make that funny clicking sound. Then I say, questions, comments, or concerns, go ahead, click back over to whiteroofradio.com. There you can leave us a note in the show notes. You can also email us, feedback, whiteroofradio.com. Until next time, gang, this is DB.
Cheers.
I'm done.
See you later, everybody.
Good night.
You realize the next show with the asterisk is going to be 666, right?
Oh,
Just saying.
Is it really?
I don't care.
no, we'll skip 666.
It doesn't bother me.
People want
I actually think that's the best show,
you know what?
because that's my VIN on my car.
I think maybe we should have Ozzy on that show, literally.
If Ozzy's still alive.
Oh, this is great.
The problem is he's got Parkinson's, so he's canceled his North America tour.
I know.
We'll skip the numbering.
667.
We're going to go straight to 667.
It'll be like the elevators in Vegas. There's no fourth floor anywhere.
No, there's no 13th floor. Is what
the VIN on my car is TD70666.
Nice.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's been the greatest thing. So when my race numbers needed to come up for the speed ring and stuff like that, is 666, and people were like, "Are you a devil?" I'm like, "No, it's a race number."
A VIN number.
Stop! It's a VIN number. And then one of the guys that was the corporate guy, he's like, "Oh, that's great! I love that."
Yep. Why not?